Good morning, good morning. How is everybody? Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. Welcome in, guys. How is everyone? Welcome to the morning live. This is Morning Motivation with Marci. Today we are starting the book, You Are a Badass at Making Money. Last week we finished up the original You Are a Badass. So we go through and we go through chapters of this book, and we take away from and we apply what we learn. So we take daily challenges from the chapters that we read. Good morning, good morning. I'm just waiting for a few people who I know are coming. Hi, Lindsay. Good morning. Hello, everybody. I don't do yes nos in the morning. Those are strictly in my evening streams. In the mornings, I do we do You Are a Badass. Today we're starting the new book, You Are a Badass at Making Money. So you are welcome to come back. You're welcome to stay this morning, maybe learn something, maybe apply something. But if you want that question answered, that would be in my evening stream. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for following. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. How was everyone's weekend? Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Hello, Rich. How are you? It's Rachel, right? Try to remember everyone's name. See a lot of names, but some stick more so than others. For those who are new to my morning lives, I don't do my yes no questions or my tarot readings in the morning. This is strictly about motivation, about manifesting. So all those questions that come to me in the evening streams, this is a way to kind of manifest what it is that you truly want. Right now with this new book, Good Morning Indigo, it's all about focusing on being a badass at making money. Okay. The original You Are a Badass is a great book to start with. We just finished it last week. If you are interested and don't want to go pick up the book yourself, I have uploaded each and every morning live that I have done around that book. It is on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is connected in my bio. There's a, one of those things you click there. And so you can find it there. Otherwise, I'm under the Loving Rebel on YouTube as well. So every live that we have done here has been uploaded there. Good morning, Brittany. You just got the 4-book set. I love it. I love it. That's incredible. I know I'll have the other 2 by Christmas, if not right after Christmas. This will probably get us through the new year with this book, chunking it out. But that's awesome. I'm so glad you're good. No! Wi-Fi's not acting a whole hot mess. It just needed some coffee. It's going to be perfectly fine from here on out. And just another quick announcement. Hopefully later today, if not tomorrow, I'm going to have a landing page in my thing that you click in my profile. And it will be for my Manifesting Love in 90 Days course. I'm going to be announcing all sorts of goodies with that. There is an application fee to work with me on this course. It is 90 days. You get full access to me. We have one-on-one calls each and every week. We have group calls every other week. We have a whole community that we're going to be building this around. This is going to be the cheapest price I do this course at because it is the first one I'm doing. So if you have been wanting to manifest love into your life, this is the time to get in on it. Let this be the last year that you show up at grandma's house and she asks you, where's your boyfriend? Why don't you have a boyfriend? Why aren't you married? Right? Let's make this the last year. Let's manifest for you to have a healthy, strong relationship in 2023. I am excited, so excited for this course. And I'm going to have everything, I'm working on everything today to get it up and ready so people can start putting their application for it because I am only opening this up to 30 people. Okay, that is my limit. And like I said, I'm only working with people who truly want to work on manifesting love, who are willing to do the work and check in each and every week, right? Who are dedicated, because this will be an investment. It's like I said, this is the cheapest it's going to be. The price will only continue to go up after this. So, if that's something that you are interested in, be sure to check out my profile in the next day or so. All right. There's 5 of us here. I know most of them, the majority of them are here for this. I do not answer yes, no questions in the morning live, honey. Thank you, Brittany. That is exclusively in my evening streams. If you want, you can come back, of course. But you are welcome to stay and sit and learn with us. Oh, girl, it's morning. Like, I don't even know how much sleep I got last night. Maybe 3 hours, if I'm lucky. So, we're all like, it's Monday, right? But it's going to be a great freaking Monday. All right, guys. I'm going to start the timer. For those who don't know, we do a 5-minute meditation in the morning. Today is going to be a little bit on the shorter side, just because I have a meeting at 10 o'clock at the school for my son. So I'm going to get our 5 minutes on the clock, and we are going to just close our eyes, relax, breathe, right? Focus on your breath. Let everything just go. Those thoughts are going to want to come in. They're going to want your attention. Just let them pass through. If you start seeing yourself or feeling yourself getting trapped in those thoughts, you fell asleep during my live last night. Oh no. If you feel yourself going to those thoughts, focus back on your breath to get back into the present moment. So it's 5 minutes. You can do anything for 5 minutes, guys. Just breathe. You aren't the first person who's done that, Indigo. It happens. All right, here we go. And let's begin. All right, time is up, guys. How do you feel after that? Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the morning live. All right, guys. Thank you for the follow. So again, just to reiterate, Morning Live is all about motivation and manifestation. We are talking, you are a badass at making money. We're starting this fresh today. So I will be uploading, I do upload these videos onto YouTube for anybody to check out in case you can't check out the live portion where you can't stay. We go through the book and we take challenges from each of the chapters to apply to our day. And we learn how to become better manifestors. So everyone is welcome. And please join us because this is a safe space. This community is amazing. All of my friends here are so supportive. So thank you, Brittany. So please sit, stay a while, ask questions. That's what we're here for. I did not go through, like, I think I might have started reading a little bit, but I did not go through and highlight anything in my book. So we are kind of going in this together, blind. I had You Are a Badass pretty much, I was ahead a few chapters, but that's okay. So, I'm going to go through the introduction first, see what we got. I'm going to play it by ear, whether we move into the first chapter or not today. Like I said, I have a 10 o'clock appointment, so luckily the school is just right down the street, so it's not like I have to travel a half hour or anything, but I just want to make sure we get in what we need to get in. Alright. Lower this a little. I use my daughter's iPad, and it makes me laugh every time I go to adjust the volume. She's a big Friends fan, the TV show Friends, and right by the volume, it has the pivot. Just makes me giggle each and every time. All right. So, through the introduction, if you're ready to make more money, you can. I don't care how many times you've tried and failed, or if you're so broke you're selling your bodily fluids for bus fare, or how often you found yourself center stage at the checkout counter, feigning shock and indignation. Are you sure? Declined? That's impossible. Can you run it one more time? No matter how out of the question it may seem for you at this moment, you can make lots of money. Even, I'm gonna buy everyone I love a house and a gold tooth kind of money, if that's what turns you on. I'd also like to point out that there's nothing horribly wrong with you if you haven't figured out how to do it yet. Money is one of the most loaded topics out there. Excuse me. We love money, hate money, obsess over money, ignore money, resent money, hoard money, crave money, badmouth money. Money is rife with so much desire and shame and weirdness. It's a wonder we can utter the word above a whisper, let alone go out and joyfully rake it in. Have you been brave enough to read this book in public? I wonder. With the title in full view. It reminds me a lot of how we've been conditioned to deal with sex, another gold medalist in the topics that totally freak people out competition. When it comes to having sex and making money, you're supposed to know what you're doing and be all great at it. But nobody teaches you anything about it, and you're never supposed to talk about it because it's inappropriate, dirty, not so classy. Both money and sex can provide unthinkable pleasures, birth new life, and inspire violence and divorce. Okay. We're ashamed if we don't have it. We're even more ashamed to admit we want it. We will do things slash people we're not nuts about in order to get it. And I know I'm not the only one who has caught myself fantasizing about a stranger dressed like Batman coming up and giving me some on a bench in Central Park, am I? Same as adulting, right? Nobody teaches you how to do adult. I don't know that I've ever had a fantasy of somebody in a Batman suit, like, giving me some on a park bench. But, hey, we all have our weird fantasies. Well, yeah, exactly. Do things slash people, right? The good news is if you, like most people, have troubled or conflicted relationship with money, you have the ability to heal it, transform it, and become such awesome pals with money that you wake up one day find yourself standing in the middle of the life you've always wanted to live. And you can start making this change right now. I know, I love her. I love her. All you need to do is wake up to what's holding you back. Make new powerful choices about what you focus on. And smarten yourself about money. And go for it like you ain't never gone for it before. Which is what this book will help you do. I personally transformed my financial reality so quickly and massively that everyone who knows me well is still wondering what the hell happened. And believe me when I say if my broke ass can do it, you can do it too. No matter how rickety or hopeless you may feel right now. Because I knew precisely 0 things about making money until I was in my 40s. My 40s. That's the age when most people possess things like houses and college funds for their kids. And an understanding of how the Dow Jones works. Meanwhile, at 40... I possessed a barren bank account, a deep wrinkle in between my eyebrows from stress, and a first-name basis relationship with Sheila at the collection agency. For the vast majority of my adult life, I was a freelance writer, forever scrambling for work that paid an insulting non-amount considering how time-consuming and challenging it was. Had I actually done the math, I would have realized just how free my Lansing was. But I instead chose to be in denial of the facts, work harder, complain more, and just, hope that I'd somehow magically start raking in the dough or get run over by someone rich who would then have to take care of me for the rest of my life. My watertight plan for getting out of financial struggle was partly based on having a whole lot of hang-ups about money. Money is evil, rich people are gross, I have no idea how to make it, I'd have no idea what to do with it even if I did know how to make it, etc. As well as my perpetual and torturous state of indecision. I knew I was a writer, and I also knew I wanted to do more than sit alone in a room in my robe and type all day. I just didn't know what it was I wanted to do. And rather just picking something already and seeing where it led, I chose to bite my nails down to bloody nubs and wallow in the I don't know what the hell I want to do with my life quagmire. For years, as in decades, it was so painful and devastating and utterly paralyzing. This is how I find myself at the ripe old age of 40, living in a converted garage in an alley, in fear of requiring dental work, excelling at financial mediocrity in the following ways. Eating/drinking/filling my pockets with anything that was free, regardless of whether or not I really liked it or needed it. Walking countless blocks in flip-flops to save $5 on valet parking. Employing duct tape instead of professionals to repair things like leaking pipes, busted shoe straps, and fractured bones. Meeting friends at a restaurant for dinner, ordering a glass of water. Tap is fine, thanks. I love the tap in this city, before explaining to the table how I'm really not hungry. I'm stuffed, actually. And then bread is placed on the table and disappears into my mouth in a blur. Choosing between phone service and health insurance. Spending excruciating amounts of time purchasing anything from a TV to a bedspread to a wooden spoon in order to thoroughly investigate every possibility of a cheaper option, a forthcoming sale, a coupon code, or to entertain the question, is this something I could perhaps make myself? Good morning, Misty. If I had put the same amount of time and focus that I put into freaking out about not having money, cutting back my expenses, finding the deals, haggling, researching, returning, refunding, redeeming, rerouting, rebating, into actually making money, I would have been driving a car with working windshield wipers years before I actually did. This making money thing is not about never again making wise, informed purchases or rejoicing in a good sale or filling up on bread. It's about giving yourself the options and the permission to be, do, and have whatever lights you up instead of acting like a victim of your circumstances. It's not about pretending everything is cool. I love having 3 roommates, none of whom know how to use a sponge or a goddamn broom. Instead of focusing on making more money to afford yourself your own place for fear you'll be judged or you'll suck at it and that it'll be too hard or no fun or out of your reach. It's about creating the wealth that affords you the life you'd love to live instead of settling for what you think you can get. The human ability to rationalize, defend, and accept our self-imposed drama is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Especially because we all have the power within us to choose and create realities that totally kick ass. We see it all the time with people who are miserable or even abusive relationships. He's just so sad and sorry after he cheats on me. Adulting is hard, yes. It breaks my heart. Plus, the makeup sex is super hot. We see it when people insist on staying in jobs that they hate. I spend my lunch break weeping in the stairwell. I'm so miserable. But the health insurance is amazing. Oh my gosh, how many times have you stayed at a place of employment because you're like, well, the benefits are great. Like, I can go to my doctor and not pay an astronomical copay, right? You stay. I was in a toxic work environment for a year. It was so bad. Like, just one day I was like, I've had enough. Like, I wrote my resignation letter. I left it on the head person's desk and I walked out. I didn't even care. I didn't care to see anybody. I'm like, effective immediately. Hotels get you great discounts, right? Meanwhile, their spirit and their time on earth are quickly swirling down the drain. Time wasted rationalizing the mediocre could be time spent creating the magnificent. Let's read that again. Time wasted rationalizing the mediocre could be time spent creating the magnificent. You have one glorious and brief shot at being the you that is you on planet Earth, and the power to create whatever reality you desire. Why not be the biggest, happiest, most generous, and fully realized humanoid you can be? Yes, exactly. After some 40 plus years of scraping by, I finally could no longer bear hearing myself say my mantras of choice. I can't afford it, and I don't know what I want to do, or to continue living in places so crappy and small that I could sit on the toilet, answer the door, and fry an egg all at the same time. It was like living on a boat or in a toadstool. I could no longer sit back and watch all these people out there kicking butt, making great money, doing what they loved, treating their pals to fancy dinners, donating more than $5 and a thank you note to the charities they loved, traveling the world in luxury, wearing shoes that no stranger had worn before, basically living the life I wanted to live. I was just as smart, talented, charming, well-groomed. What the hell was my problem? What was I waiting for? No, no matter how much I complained or freaked out or tried to convince myself that my present rickety life was as good as it could, should, or would get, deep down I knew I was meant for and wanted bigger things. I'd get all excited about hearing someone's cool job as a globe-trotting journalist or hanging out at someone's beachfront house, and I think, this could be me. And instead of using that excitement to propel myself into action, I immediately started talking myself out of going for it. Well, I have nothing well written enough to show that I could be a good journalist. And I'm not entirely sure that's what I want to do. Plus, I have a cat. I could never travel the world and leave Mr. Biggins behind. How many times have we talked ourselves out of stuff? We're like, oh no, that would take away time. You know, I might have to spend more time away, focused on something instead of seeing the benefits, right? We get lost in the house. She's getting lost in the house, right? She's trying to control things, and she's controlling it in the negative too. Even though staying stuck where I was felt easier and less risky than putting myself out there, it also felt awful. Right? We talked about this last week. Choose your hard. It's hard to live poor and it's hard to live rich. Right? It's hard to do the things you love. It's hard to do the things you hate. Right? Choose your hard. Which hard do you want to do? One that keeps you stuck or one that can give you the life you truly desire? Well, hello, Rory. You gonna sit? Okay. I felt like I was letting myself down, being a wimp, holding back, denying myself a whole lot of awesomeness, snoring my way through life because basically I was. Yeah, she's making herself known. The knowledge that I could be doing so much better but wasn't finally became so unbearable that I got off my butt and made the hell-bent for glory decision to get over my fear and loathing of money and figure out how to make some. And to not let myself do it in a way that maybe wasn't perfect, but that at least felt sort of right, instead of clinging to the easy out of being unsure. There was no thunderclap aha moment. I didn't narrowly escape dying in a grease fire or get dumped by the love of my life for being such a loser, or have some big snap out of it epiphany. I just suddenly couldn't take listening to myself complain anymore. I just finally woke up, which is how the desire to make massive change kicks in for most people, right? A lot of people are looking for that big aha, right? They think it only happens when someone becomes close to death or, they lose their job, right? That cushy job. Right? Sometimes it does happen that way, but other times people just get sick of working that 9 to 5 grind and they're like, I want more for myself. And that's enough to push them. Again, it might not be right away, but the build up, it gives you that kick in the butt. All right. The leaps I had to take to catapult myself out of my safe little reality were often terrifying and hugely confronting. Yeah, it happens in the shower at 2 on a Tuesday. Absolutely. It just happens. You just get tired. You get sick and tired of being sick and tired and you just go for it. What can you lose, right? Sometimes you're just like, how bad can it be? Right? What if it works? What if it, for God's sakes, works for you? For example, I invested alarming amounts of money in putting an online business together, taking courses, hiring mentors, building a website, getting headshots taken by someone other than my right arm, etc. I risked looking like an idiot and a fraud because this new business of mine was all about coaching other writers. And I never coached other writers before. I risked losing the aforementioned alarming amounts of money on building an online business because I knew not one thing about running online businesses, or offline businesses for that matter. Even telling people that I had a damn business felt ridiculous. It felt pretend. Like I was just playing office until someone busted me. Just kidding, sorry, I don't really know what I'm doing. But no matter how scary each step was, it was nowhere near as frustrating as constantly wondering how I was ever going to pay off my student loans, or feeling like I was wasting away my tiny little life when I knew I could be doing so much better. I'm now not only making 7 figures as a success coach and an author, but I'm writing a book on how to make money. Me, Jen Sincero, ex-shoplifter and scrounger for coins and couch cushions, other people's. It's an unthinkable as my 90-year-old father becoming an overnight sensation on Dancing with the Stars, and then writing a book about it. Miracles. I believe in them. One of the coolest things I remember is how quickly, once I made the no-nonsense decision to get my financial poop in a scoop, new opportunities and ideas and income streams started showing up in my life. They were there the entire time, of course. I was just too busy clipping coupons and focusing on my on my anu to notice. I don't even know if that's how you say that, but I want you to know that you have everything you need right now to start turning your financial reality into something that doesn't make you wake up screaming in the middle of the night. I don't think she asked. I really don't think she asked if she could go through their couch cushions. I think she just did. You just have to be willing to do what it takes. And here's what it takes. Agreeing to get really, 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 really uncomfortable over and over again. We've been raised to believe that you have to work hard to make money. And certainly there are times when this is true. But the real secret is you have to take huge, uncomfy risks. You have to do stuff you've never done before to make yourself visible, to acknowledge your own awesomeness, to risk looking stupid. It's easy to do if you're sleeping on it, just saying. That's true. Yeah, really, right? We're already uncomfortable in certain situations. What's just a little bit more? And to move into something that we truly want versus making ourselves even more uncomfortable in a situation we don't desire, right? You must not only admit to desiring and committing to creating wealth, but most important, you must allow yourself to do so. Taking risks is uncomfortable, but it's the kind of discomfort that's equal parts eek and hell yeah. Fear and excitement are two sides of the same coin. And that is precisely the kind of discomfort I'm talking about, otherwise known as a rush. It is the critical, thrilling discomfort of living large and in charge. My hope for you is that you read this book over and over and do everything it says. That you listen to the hollerings of your heart instead of your doubts and fears. And that you continuously leap bravely into the unknown. I've seen countless clients and friends and people I meet at parties in such a struggle around money. It's like watching people starve to death when there's an all-you-can-eat buffet just down the hall. The money you desire is here for you. The opportunity, the clients, the teachers, the brilliant money-making ideas, they're all right here, right now, waiting for you to wake up and let them in and get this party started. So that's just the introduction. We haven't even gotten to any of the chapters. But I cannot express how much I love how she writes, how open, honest, and, forthcoming she is. She's very open and, I don't know, I find her funny. Hell of an intro, right? Alright, we're at 8:45. I think we can definitely at least do the first chapter. or at least get a good way through it. Thank you, Brittany. Alright, so the first chapter is called Allowance. I have a friend who has an extensive owl collection. It all started when she innocently purchased a wood carving of an owl in front of her mother one afternoon. Isn't this cute? Her mother, in turn, sounded the family rallying cry. The news spread like wildfire, and my friend is now the horrified owner of owl pot holders, owl clocks, owl earrings, owl slippers, I don't give a hoot t-shirts, needle-pointed owl pillows, owl salt and pepper shakers, stuffed owls, owl soap on a rope. On birthdays, holidays, and graduations, the dreaded flock descends, perching on her shelves, flapping up her wall space, peeking out from her closet. It's like a horror movie. She's like, I want an owl collection. Nope, never mind. That's too much. I don't know how it got so out of control, she moaned one day as she unwrapped an I will always call you a friend cross-stitch wall hanging from her sister-in-law. This went on for years before she finally got up the nerve to put a stop to it, to thank them very much, but declare her world an owl-free zone from now on. Her friends and family were surprised, hurt, and indignant, and although the onslaught eventually stopped, they treated her like she was nuts. Fine, if that's what you want, but people love to tell you what you should and shouldn't want, regardless of how you feel about it. Even worse, we're so malleable. If we listen to them long enough, we'll tell ourselves what we should and shouldn't want, regardless of how we feel deep down. If we're not careful, we can stay stuck for years, or even lifetimes, in situations that cause us pain, because we'd rather defend the non-truths that upset or disappoint anybody, our inner critics included. We'd rather do what's expected of us than give ourselves permissions to be, do, and have what feels good and right and awesome. For example, when I made one of my first attempts at crawling out of my lifelong financial stinkhole, I ended up crawling right back in, even though I so desperately wanted out. My attempt involved a book entitled The Science of Getting Rich by an old-timey guy named Wallace Wattles. I don't remember what inspired me to finally pick it up. It could have been anything. When my cat needed stitches I couldn't pay for and I was too grossed out to sew them up myself. When I lost my ability to turn my head to the left and decided it was time to start sleeping on a mattress instead of a futon from college. That time I actually regifted a pair of candlesticks to the same person who had given them to me, and I vowed to only buy people presents from that moment forward. What I do remember, word for word, is the very first sentence of this book. Because as I sat reading in my living room, kitchen, dining room, bedroom, guest room, the first sentence of this book leapt out and spat in my eye, offending me to my core. It said this. At least they should have liked the candlesticks, right? You bought them. Like, obviously you had some sort of a, affinity for them. So, first sentence in this book says, whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. Whatever, Waddles. Plenty of people are poor and happy and feel complete and successful. But secretly they regift them, right? Who gets candlesticks? Like, who gives... I have never once looked at candlesticks and thought, I think this would be a beautiful... I mean, Now I can, because I have some witchy friends, and they would have to be really cute, right, in certain decor. But, like, pre-awakening, I have never looked at candlesticks and be like, I should get this for so-and-so. I may send them to someone. I mean, I could see it now, right? Because you could get some witchy ones and they would be really cool, so on and so forth. Until they were special sticks. They're spirit sticks. They're spirit sticks. Candlesticks. Spirit candlesticks? I don't know. I'm thinking spirit fingers. Alright. The fact that I myself was poor. I have a box started already. Candles could be a fun ad. Yes, that's alright. I scroll out of lives all the time. You're good. The fact that I myself was poor and that I felt far from successful or complete as a result was apparently beside the point. Damn spelling. I know, autocorrect likes to take on itself. The point was, I'd spent an entire lifetime self-righteously insisting that being rich was overrated. I've done that. And gross. And I wasn't going to back down easily, no matter how broke I had to stay in order to prove my point. I could handle the idea of making more money, but saying that one had to be rich, that was unacceptable. I was so disgusted that Waddles could be such a shallow, ignorant, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, it's Monday, that I not only slammed the book shut and didn't pick it up again until years later, at which time it totally changed my life. I also continued to barely make any money for those next few years. Instead, I kept toiling away, taking the odd low-paying job here and there, writing articles, catering, babysitting, knitting, attempting to sell what I knitted, etc. As torturous and time-consuming and totally ain't getting rich anytime soon as my plan was. Example, cost of yarn, plus time it takes to knit a caftan, plus charging anything less than $5,000 for said caftan. I think that's supposed to say Afghan, but I don't know what she's talking about, but equals seriously not worth it. It was still apparently more worth it to me to keep doing things the way I was doing them than it was to work on my negative beliefs about money and change what I was doing. I was more attached to my truths about how evil money was and to my beliefs about my ability and my right to make money than I was to my desire to no longer shop for groceries at the dollar store. A caftan is almost like a romper. Oh, okay. Interesting. I was thinking like Afghan. That she somehow was like maybe making smaller ones or something. Like I've made lapgans, right? Just to cover the legs and stuff, but anyways. In my seasoned experience as a grouchy broke person, RuPaul's Drag Race has taught me much. I got you. Okay. I take your word for it. In my season's experience as being a grouchy broke person and my many years of coaching countless people on the topic of wealth, I've discovered that few things that make people want to fight, vomit, or ask for money back more than telling them that one must be rich to be successful and complete. One of the biggest obstacles to making lots of money is not the lack of good ideas or opportunities or time, or that we're too slovenly or stupid. It's that we refuse to give ourselves permission to become rich. We refuse to give ourselves permission to become rich. I see it over and over. The kicking and screaming about how, at the end of the day, what's most important is spending time with those you love, gazing at sunsets, rejoicing in the laughter of frolicking children, helping old ladies cross the street, and other things money can't buy. And I won't argue, but I will ask this. Why the hell does this come up when we discuss the making of money? When did it become an either-or situation? If you partake in the pursuit of wealth, it's not like you shall never attend a family barbecue, hug a puppy, or tip through the tulips. In fact, if you do it correctly, you'll be able to afford to spend even more time on such merriments, and do it in style. Not to mention pay for the gas to put in your car to get to the family barbecue, buy the hot dogs, show up wearing clothes, and marvel at Uncle Carl's famous card tricks, unfettered by thoughts of your crushing debt or how you're going to hit him up for a loan to cover your rent this month as soon as he's had a few beers. Everybody arrives on this planet with unique desires, gifts, and talents. And as you journey through life, your job is to discover what yours are, to nurture them, and to bloom into the most authentic, gleeful, and badassiest version of yourself. In order to do this as a human being in modern society on planet Earth, you must be rich. And let me clarify what I mean by rich, lest you think I'm saying your life is worthless, and unless it involves a mansion and a yacht. Rich. Able to afford all the things and experiences required to fully experience your most authentic life. While the amount of money you need will depend on who you are and what you desire, ain't nobody riding for free. Nobody. We exist in a world where, like it or not, nearly everything involved in your growth, pursuit of happiness, and self-expression costs money. If you're an artist, for example, your riches might go towards things like paint, canvases, brushes, a studio, trips to places that inspire you and fill you up with ideas, dinner out with friends and fellow artists to keep your spirits and energy high, hiring a PR firm, someone to walk your dog so you can work, a personal trainer, a DJ at your art opening, paying the admission fees to museums, buying healthy food, music to listen to, classes, glasses, and a beret. What you need is a very squirrely subject, heaped high with guilt and confusion and fears, and the only person who can answer what you truly need to be the most joyfully you is you. The trick is getting clear amidst the endless supply of inner and outer opinions. For example, maybe you've had an experience similar to this. You've just hung out at someone's lavish home and left feeling like, I want my house wired for sound with speakers in every room too. How have I been living this long without it? Only to visit a friend soon thereafter who's wearing the same clothes she wore in college more than 20 years ago, who's driving the same falling apart car and listening to the same crappy stereo, because she feels these things are good enough. Why create more waste by throwing them away and upgrading? And you suddenly find yourself feeling dirty for wanting a big fancy stereo and speakers in your laundry room. There will never be a lack of conflicting opinions and information when it comes to any decision you make in life. And this is especially true when it comes to something as controversial as money. Depending on who we were raised by, the society we grew up in, and the people we surround ourselves with, our minds can be littered with thoughts that have us believing everything from the critical importance of making big bucks to keep up with the Joneses, to existing on crumbs and sleeping on a camping mattress in order to be noble, good person. All that matters is what's true for you, which is why getting really good at listening to your intuition and your heart and following your happiness is critical. And which is why I want to drive home the following point. If you allow yourself to make all the money you need to flourish and live out your desires, it doesn't mean you are or will become a greedy, selfish, earth-ruining bastard. A healthy desire for wealth is not greed. It's a desire for life. A healthy desire for wealth is not greed. It's a desire for life. Desire literally means desire of the Father. And whether or not you believe in God, your desires were bestowed upon you when you became an earthly self, along with other distinctive you-type things, like your face and your personalities and your affinity for needlecrafts. They are unique to you. Yeah, exactly. One more time for the people in the back. A healthy desire for wealth is not greed. It's a desire for life. They are unique to you. They define the essence of who you are, and they act as a roadmap for your life. Your desires were given to you by the universal intelligence that created everything in existence, with the express purpose of being carried out by you during your lifetime. Now, for those who have been with me since I started TikTok, since I started doing these lives, I have always said, you were not given desires to ignore them. I've been saying that the whole time I've been on this app. You were not given desires to ignore them. You were given desires to achieve them. You are supposed to have them. When you acquire a desire, you are supposed to have it. We've been taught our whole lives that we need to deny them, right? That's how you prove your worthiness. You deny them and show just how faithful you are, that you can live without it. You don't need them. Bullshit, you were brought here to fulfill those desires. As a member of the human species, you are part of nature, and everything else in nature is provided with all it needs to carry out its desire to thrive and flourish. So why wouldn't you be? Nature is a fine-tuned, well-thought-out machine that is all about the full expression and perpetuation of life. What are you doing, Willow? You want to come up? You can come up too. Mother Nature gets an A+ in systems management and resource replenishment. She's got it down. It's when mankind gets freaky and scared and greedy that nature is thrown out of balance. We pollute, strip, and destroy our dear pal, the earth, in horrifying and often irreparable ways when we act from fear instead of the desire to collaborate with our planet and the creatures on it. We hoard resources because we fear there aren't enough to go around, and that we're unworthy unless we have more. We pollute our water, air, and land and ravage our forests in order to cut costs or make lots of money because we're unconscious, insecure, and hence power obsessed. While it's impossible to live on Earth and not make some sort of impact, if we humans were all in harmony with our highest selves, feeding our desires instead of our fears, in the flow with Mother Nature, giving and receiving in a healthy, collaborative, conscious way, this planet would be in beautiful shape. All of nature is forever moving, growing, changing, reproducing, evolving. It's all the rage. Even the damn universe itself is expanding. Likewise, you are not meant to just survive, to stay stagnant, to settle. You are meant to keep growing and thrive. Just like the tree that sucks up nutrients, water, and sun, grows to be its tallest, mightiest height, and drops shit all over our yards that will then spawn the next generation of trees. And the frog that miraculously grows from egg to tadpole to adult, you too are meant to reach your fullest expression of the you that is you, to inspire and birth awesomeness in others, and to use whatever resources you need along the way. You hear me say that too. We did not come here to work, pay taxes, and die. That wasn't the purpose, right? We're not just supposed to make it. We're not just supposed to sit by idle. We all have seeds of unthinkable badassery inside of us, yet only some of us will allow ourselves to grow. The difference being, of course, that unlike the tree and the frog, you are human. So unless your truth involves living in a cave on rent-free land, carving images of caribou on the wall with a pebble while dining on nuts and berries not owned by Monsanto, pretending that you can reach heights without the proper funds is cray. In fact, if you are here to become a grandest, most generous version of yourself, which you are, and if that costs money, which it does, it is your duty as a hallowed child of Mother Nature to get rich. Even if we could live on what's within reach, sitting under an apple tree next to an endless stream of fresh water full of fish, with a cocktail waitress stopping by every couple of hours, eventually we'd get bored, seeking new lands, want to go for a bike ride or something. Humans are curious by nature. Our desire is to keep evolving physically, mentally, and spiritually as part of who we are, which is why settling, staying stuck in a rut, dreading the lukewarm water of mediocrity, or worse, is so excruciating. All of Mother Nature's creatures are designed to fully flourish before they drop dead. You, just like all living things, are meant to take up space on this planet. Shrinking back and denying yourself the things that bring you great joy, living under a cloud of guilt, refusing to make an impact, ain't why you're here. The earth is not here for us to pillage, but it is here for us to enjoy, care for, and appreciate. You living your fullest life and making all the money required to do so doesn't take anything away from anyone else or any more than you refusing a ham sandwich because someone somewhere is starving. Helps them. Greed comes from the same lack mindset as poverty. Think about that. Greed comes from the same lack mindset as poverty. That is just somebody who hoards money. They just want more because they're afraid it's going to run out. They're afraid they'll never have enough. Or something tragic will happen and they'll lose all their money. Right? So that's where greed comes from. It's not somebody being ambitious for the right reasons. It's the fear of poverty. Exactly. Staying broke because you fear it. You fear it's gross. And God, can I read today? Sorry. It makes sense. It does. Staying broke because you fear it's gross to be rich, or that you don't deserve money, or that you getting rich somehow prohibits someone else from getting rich too, is all rooted in lack. Lack is the state of being you're in when you believe you're in need of, when you believe that what you desire doesn't exist, when your outlook on life is a glass with a hole in the bottom as opposed to a glass half full. You've never heard it be put in that perspective before. Yeah, I mean, it usually does surround that though, when you think about it. People who are greedy, they just want to take care of themselves because they're afraid they'll never get more. You know, it's the same thing of somebody who hasn't had money. When they get it, they don't want to let it go because they're a fear of not getting more. It does. It makes perfect sense. A lack mindset believes that there's not enough to go around, and that you're not good enough or worthy enough to flourish, that the money you spend may never make its way back to you, etc. Pigging out on money and the things and experiences also based in fear and lack. fear of never having enough, fear of not being secure, fear of being unlovable, trying to fill a bottomless hole in your heart. Nothing in excess is healthy. Gluttony is just as devastating as is anorexia. You're denying your heart's desire. It's not noble. It's a waste of some damn good desires. And it denies the world our only opportunity to bask in more of you. If you sometimes feel hopeless because of all the pain and the suffering in the world and worry, who the hell am I to get rich when others are starving or being bombed out of their countries and enslaved? Know this. One of the best things you can do is get rich. Because of the way our world is structured, money and power are intertwined. So if you want to help make a positive change, money is one of the most effective tools you can use to do it. Yes, you can donate your time, organize, protest, lobby, alert the masses, post and send rants on Facebook, but you will be much more effective if you have the energy, options, and freedom that comes with not being in financial struggle, not to mention the resources to spend however you see fit. Instead of complaining and freaking out about the power-mongering, greed-obsessed fatheads who are perpetuating such harm on the planet and handing them even more power by staying broke because you don't want to be like them, why not focus yourself on getting rich instead so you can make a big difference? You can do some really cool stuff with money. Don't let the jerks who give it a bad name ruin it for you. You cannot give what you do not have. So if you want to help others, you have to take care of yourself first. This is why they always tell you on airplanes that you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you help someone else with theirs. They have to remind us of this because it is counterintuitive unless you are a sociopath. It's your nature to help. Few things light up the human heart like helping, bringing joy to others. Trust in the fact that when you are well taken care of financially, you'll be even more poised and inspired to spread the love. Our world, now more than ever, needs as many compassionate, creative, big-hearted, conscious people to be as rich as possible so we can turn this mother around. I mean, imagine if you and all the people you love and respect had ass loads of money. And if they felt grateful and empowered by it, not icky and guilty. And if they could afford to spend it on themselves and others and on saving the planet in ways uplifted everyone involved. Please take a moment to really envision the specifics of this as it pertains to yourself and the spectacular people in your life. Take them all one by one and imagine how they feel, who they become, what they spend their newfound wealth on. If your peeps are anything like mine, it makes the whole concept of being rich something worth writing a love song about. There is no such thing as too much awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and say it out loud. Join me, won't you? I love money. There's no need for explanation or apologies. I also love pizza, and I can say that without tacking on a bunch of disclaimers. I love pizza, but it's not everything. Spending time with people you love and being service are important too. Let's take back the word money and decriminalize it, because until you do, you aren't going to be terribly motivated to let yourself make much. I've been broke and sad, rich and sad, broke and happy, rich and happy, and I'll take the rich version over the broke version all day long. Because money gives you the freedom and options, and I really love freedom and options. Who doesn't? While we're at it, let's go ahead and decriminalize rich people, shall we? Contrary to popular belief, the rich are just people. They're not intrinsically filthy, nor do they deserve to be killed, eaten, or robbed. We live in a society that's made a sport of judging people with lots of money. So regardless of how you feel in your conscious mind about the rich, i.e., some of my best friends are rich, It's important to be aware of any negative beliefs you may be harboring deep down. Of course, there are some rich people who totally suck, but some of them are awesome, just as some poor people totally suck and some of them are awesome. The problem is that it is socially acceptable to roll our eyes when someone drives by in a Bentley or talks about how very many dollars they made this year. Meanwhile, it's part of a normal conversation to complain about how broke you are or to announce that you got your boots for a mere $5 at Goodwill. Snobbery works in both directions. If you're rich, thinking you're better than those who aren't is as equally lame as being broke and thinking you're better than those who are rich. Start paying attention to any disparaging comments that may fly out of your mouth or your mind when it comes to rich folk. Because if you plan on becoming one of them, it's going to be a whole lot easier if you actually approve of who you're becoming. Take a deep breath, trust your desires, and embrace the fact that your quest for riches is a quest to become more of who you truly are. We don't all desire to live a huge fancy life or solve world hunger. That's not what this is about. It's about you letting yourself be the biggest badass you can be. Whatever that happens to look like for you. You are meant to thrive, and by thriving, you automatically help others to thrive too. Think about it. Just standing next to someone who's being totally who they are, who is lit up by life, who goes for it fully, who believes anything is possible, who is excited to be in on the adventure of spinning around on this planet, who allows themselves to look stupid, to fail, to succeed, to be rich, to be generous, to basically be, do, and have all the things and experiences that make them the most themselves. It makes you feel like you could go out and flip a car over, right? So why not be that for someone else by being the most you that you can be too? If you're a political activist, be as active as you can possibly be. If you're a musician, rock on with your bad self. If you're an attorney, fight for what's right. If you're a stay-at-home mom, raise awesome kids with great manners. It all counts. It all contributes. We're all equally vital. It's not a competition. There wouldn't be room for all of us to do all the same things the same way, which is why we desire to fill our own special spot in the world with our own special selves. Understand that your gifts, talents, and desires were given to you because you are meant to thrive and share your you-ness with the world as only you can. Please, oh please, allow yourself to get as rich as you need to be in order to bestow upon us your greatness. So now she's sharing a success story, and we're almost through this. If he can do it, so can you. Charles, 54, went from making $20,000 a year to over $145,000 a year in less than 7 months. I always thought I loved money, but I realized after a while I had a problem with it because I never made any. After some serious introspection, I realized that because I grew up poor in a broken home, and my father never paid us a cent in child support, the message that I received and came to accept as truth is that I'm not worth anything. So throughout my life, as opportunities came along, I would somehow allow the underlying belief to sabotage any success. I started saying mantras of encouragement to myself about my greatness and would express thanks to the universe, to everybody and everything around me for things that I hadn't received yet. And it changed me. It elevated me to be a more positive person. I went forward doing things that I didn't believe were possible, but I did them anyways. I also began learning skills to improve myself, some at a great expense. I practiced interviewing for jobs by doing hundreds of interviews until I got good at it. One thing that helped is I looked at the others around me, even the ones hiring me, and I found that I was a great deal more knowledgeable and better skilled than even they were. My confidence slowly began to develop. I continued interviewing and landed my present job where I make over $145,000 a year. Today, I'm living in the best home that I've ever lived in, My children are all in the best schools that they have ever been in. I drive the best car that I have ever owned and have luxuries that I never imagined would be possible. My doubts about my self-worth still rise up every now and then, but I keep working on it and know I can beat it. It's an amazing feeling. To get rich. Suggested money mantra. Say it, write it, feel it, and own it. I love money because I love myself. So write that one down, guys. And I want you to say it to yourselves all day today. I love money because I love myself. Please give at least 10 answers to each of the following. Make a list of all the reasons why you deserve money. And I'll take a screenshot of I'll take a picture of this and I'll post it in the Facebook group and the Discord. So, make a list of all the reasons why you deserve money. Make a list of some beautiful things that have happened in this world thanks to money. Make a list of all the awesome things and experiences money will add to your life. Make a list of how you being rich will benefit others. And then please fill in the blank. I'm grateful to money because. And then fill that out. So, again, I will take a picture of this and I will post it in both the Facebook and the Discord. Oh my goodness. So, say that mantra throughout the day. I love money because I love myself. Right? And then answer the questions, fill in the blank. What did you guys think of that chapter? Justin just got home from hunting. Great job. Thanks. I'm a good reader sometimes. Sometimes I get tripped up on words, but I'm a good reader.
Oh, God.
Good morning, Morgan. So, as much as I don't want to cut this short now, you're listening. Yeah. I thought of you while I was reading this, Lindsay. I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like sometimes we're afraid to, I don't want to say afraid to have money, but like we're afraid of how others look at us if we do make money, especially in the spiritual community, right? In the spiritual community, it's always sometimes frowned upon because they're like, you should share your gifts for free. They were given to you. Yeah, well, food's not given to me for free. So it's an energy exchange. There is a cost to it. It's a good start laying the foundation to where the book is going. Yes, I agree. I love it. At least what I could stay and listen to. It's been hectic in here this morning. Oh no.
Oh my God. Shh. Oh, it's cold.
Yeah, you're loud.
Oh, fuck.
So, again, like I said, I will take a picture of that, our homework. We'll just call it our homework, and I'll post it. So, I'm going to hop off here. I know I'm hopping off quicker than I usually do, but I do have to get ready and go to this meeting before I go to babysitting. So, I love you guys. Shoot me any questions if you have any. I will upload this probably. The video will get uploaded later today. I will upload the picture here in just a few minutes. Yes, if you want to share in Discord, absolutely share your answers. Let's keep each other accountable and actually do this, guys, because I think this is going to be a game changer for a lot of us. So let's definitely do that. If you're on Discord, answer it in Discord. If you're in Facebook and not on Discord yet, I know there's a whole size issue with Discord sometimes for your phones and stuff. Put it in Facebook. I'll be checking both places. So, all right, I love you guys. I will talk to you later. Have an amazing Monday. Make it a great day, and I will see you later.